Hello. I found another article that I think we should go through. An article written by Dr. Irungu Kangata, the governor of Murang'a County. So he wrote an article, and the article is on boy child, saving the boy child in Kenya, the crisis in Kenya. So the headline of the article is "Let's do something about the boy child." So it's in this video, we want to look at this article, and as a man, as I don't put it as a boy, but as a man, and uh, from our side, does this article really resonate with us, and does what are the point that Irungu Kante is trying to put across in his article? So I want to welcome you to the Hopkins Experience. My name is Hopkins Manova, and in this channel, we'll be talking about issues that are affecting the young people, issues to do with politics, issues to do with justice, issues to do with employment, money, finance. So if you are interested in such honest conversations and thought-provoking conversations, I'd like to welcome you to this channel. Join by subscribing, support by subscribing, and also sharing your thoughts in the comments about the issues. I think the issue about boy child, the neglect of the boy child. I think when we say boys, we mean uh, men who from that's the age of 18, yeah, or let's say from their teens coming into their early adulthood up to around 30, 35 there, just this age gap, yeah. So it's the article is talking about the neglect of boys, the especially in Kenya. As things have grown, we've seen that um, their men are being pushed behind. So in this article, the governor of Murang'a highlights what he calls a reversal of favor of girls. And he looks at Mount Kenya, where he's a governor of one of the counties in Mount Kenya, where boys are increasingly being left behind. Yeah, in this empowerment thing that we've come across, and it's a good article for us to analyze um, the impact of women empowerment that has been happening over the last let's say 10 to 20 years, yeah. Because when I was growing up with that age where we used to we the whole government, the whole society, the Kenyan society, all of it puts its focus on the girl child in terms of education, in terms of empowerment, in terms of what. So the government and all Kenyans, and let's say even global powers, global multinationals and NGOs came in to focus on the girl. And after those 20 years, we have something we can rely on. What are the mistakes that this women empowerment has made? What are the challenges that have come in? And also looking at the impact it has had on the boy child, on the boys that were growing up in Kenya. So uh, he wants that something should be done because what I like about this article, the author wants an equal, a real equal society where girls and boys have equal equal opportunities and are given equal opportunities. It is funny that you've started talking about the 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 boy child. Yeah? We've started saying about men, and it's a conversation that has been really needed over the the years. So it's a good conversation that we're going to dive in just a little, going into deeper, and to look at this article, and that this article really resonates with the current men generation, and boys and men, yeah, this generation. So Kangata, I think he went to a good place to look at how there is inequality in gender in Kenya mostly, and he focused in this article, he focuses on uh, prison, and he says 95%, our prison have 95% prevalence of male population, which shows that there is a crisis among the boy child. There is a crisis. Why is it that there are so many boys and so many men going in prison? And he argues that the society has given have not given boys the same tools to thrive as it has given to girls, especially in the last 10 years. The boys have not gotten those kind of opportunities, those focus. Those we yes, in the previous patriarchal times where our fathers used to go to school more than our mothers, such kind of things used to happen, and the women empowerment came in to correct that, to bring it. But there seems to be that it targeted mostly women and left uh, men out. Yeah, and it can be seen on in if you look at these social spaces. Yeah, social spaces where uh, things to do with society happen. If you look at school gatherings, you look at churches, you look at this chama za wanawake, of which he also mentions those ones in his article. It's the these social gatherings are mainly dominated by women, and if you look at now the men, uh, the boy child has been absent in this kind of important social gatherings, which means the men end up missing on this. Uh, they end up missing up on mentorship. They cannot get guidance and community support, because there's something that people believe that men don't need that kind of support at all. Yeah, they are strong enough, they can do things, and the impacts are easily being seen. Yeah, the fact that men are not being included in this kind of spaces brings a void. Yeah, brings something that now we end up having an idle man, and this idle man ends up involving themselves in things that put them in jail. And if you go to jail, what they're taking is your time. They take your time. If you go, if the sentence says, if the sentence, you're being sentenced to let's say 10 years in prison, it means you have already wasted 10 years. There's nothing you're doing in these 10 years that you are spending your time in prison. So it is true. If we look at the data from our prisons and criminal justice system, that men are suffering, yeah, and men feel neglected, and this kind of the things we see mostly in, let's say, in prisons, where the article really bases its argument on, it's dominated by men, because and the high percentage of men in prisons, it does not mean men are criminals. It means that there is a problem that is pushing more men in this crime. So I think as we go deeper, we'll find why uh, men, most of them are finding themselves in crime, and this absence in these social gatherings are costly. Now it means that when boys grow out without guidance, without role models, they start being vulnerable to crimes, yeah, to drugs, to hopelessness, and to that's why there's a huge generation of men who I can say they're hopeless, yeah, and the people who pay the price, it's the society, and the society at all. They have to pay the price of hopeless men. It is very wrong to have a generation of hopeless men who don't have hope at anything, because these opportunities are very limited, and they don't feel they have a chance to live. So they end up in crime, drugs, and all those kind of regressive practices. So, and it got me thinking about even and I think also Kangata discusses it in his article, the opportunities for employment, the opportunities for business, for loans and stuff. Most of these are being pushed to girls. Girls are the one who enjoy most of this support and community and community and guidance. Yeah, there are so many women charters for what women empowerment, but there is none for men who I feel they need it more. Yeah, they need it more now because most of the things that we people are putting, most of the things, most of the work of building the works of even just planning for the future, it involves you having men and boys inside there so that you can get their views. But over the last past few years, we've seen those positions being taken mostly by women. If you see in corporate jobs, most of them are headed by women. So men are left behind. So you can even give me give an example of myself. I've been unemployed for more than let's say 7 years. I've been employed for more than 7 years since I finished university. I've never been employed, and that does not mean that I failed in my education. No, I passed very well, starting from primary to high school to campus and onwards. I passed really well. But for for the 7 years, I've never found anything called an employment. Yeah, there's no opportunity for me to grow. So I think this article really speaks to me. Yeah, speaks to me and most men who feel this way. Yeah, we feel that we are getting at the end of the road. Like there is no hope for men. I'm saying this. Even when I'm shooting this, I'm shooting this video at around 10 in the morning, and for the last for these years I've been employed, I've been hanging out with. It means I have more time to stay home and interact with more men who also stay at home when most of you are at work. Yeah, which is a privilege. Most they are men I hang out. Kama saizi I can meet with people, my fellow unemployed men. We meet out, we talk, I can easily see the suffering that goes on when you're at work. There are people who are left at home, and most of them are men. And it's an observation I've also made, that even these people who have waitwangaje, wendazimu wengi sana ambao unaona wakitembea huku nje, wengi wao ni wanaume, na inakuja hapo inakuambia kwamba the crisis gets deeper. Na hawa ndiye unawezaona, it can be seen. I think we also yes, in his article he also talks about why marriages are being affected. And when men, and these men why sisi kama wanaume ama as human beings, the primary goal that we have is to get married, to find a life partner. It happens in birds, it happens in it's when we're not an exception. In birds, we are in animals, we need a partner. We are social human beings, we are social beings, which means we need to have that community, family, and start a family. So for men right now, it's way difficult for them to have a family. I am privileged, I can say that, to run a family at this era, and yeah, despite the fact that I'm unemployed. But there are many men, they want to start a family, they are willing to start a family, but the opportunity for them to start these families are not there. And even if you start a family, it's way difficult for you to make sure you are feeding them every day, you are dressing them, and you're doing everything, and you're playing your father role as it feels. So I think also in this channel we'll be discussing more about these issues of marriage, modern marriages, where even women are now the breadwinners of our homes. It is not sad, it is good that we at this juncture we can have female breadwinners. We can have women bringing something to the table. Women are working, women are doing this. But now we cannot leave the entire role to women. We need men coming in, men playing their role. It would have been better if the empowerment of both men, there was empowerment for both men and women, so that we have, uh, so that we get a society where we have men who have resources, and women can get men to marry them easily. And I feel that the impact of all this can be seen if you study marriage, how marriage is working, especially in this modern era. You can see the neglect, you can see the impact of this im- uh, unequal uh, society, and where there's this battle between men and women. There are so many things that are looking out. It's just lack of opportunity. You can see there are so many men who are so mad over nothing. There are women who are mad over. They're just very simple, uh, very simple. What do you call them? Very simple things that make come up and make these genders to clash. But in real sense, it's just the inequality that is being projected among men and women. And if you look at this, the way there are very few men who want to get married, and women who want to get married, but they cannot find potential suitors. If you look at, I think if you go on TikTok, you can see women complaining that they are willing to give their numbers, they are willing to give their contact numbers to men, they are willing to talk to men, but the men don't want to, because as a man you look at that lady and you wonder, can you, they're not rejecting you because you are not pretty, they're not rejecting you because men can clear, they easily know where my money is right now. I cannot sit down and convince a woman to stay with me, or if I convince her, I'll have to do a lot, yeah, or that woman will even be above you, as in, and you know, men always want to be the one leading the marriages. So if you see this kind of things coming in, and that's why also the number of single mothers that are there, men are running away from responsibilities. They're not really running away from responsibility, but it tells you there is a problem. The women who are powerful enough to go away with the kids and be very, they have enough resources for them to take care of the kids alone, of which that is not, that should not be the case. They should be, if you have resources, a woman brings their resources here, a man brings their resources, and they grow kids together. Now the family structure is being uh, disoriented because men don't have resources to run these families, don't have resources to build society, don't have they don't contribute anything towards the family structure. So women end up feeling that the men they're getting, it's low quality, which is 100% true. The quality of men has really tanked. I think research shows that at this time, this is the one of the worst quality of men. The men we have now, they lack skills, they lack confidence, they're disconnected, they just find themselves in places and that put themselves in risk. You can find themselves in crime, where they find themselves drinking, engaging in even engaging in sexual interactions that are ungodly. By that I mean, you and as a man, you don't want that commitment because you don't have the resources to commit to it. A man is his resources, a man is his opportunities and his confidence. So if you do this, yes, there are men who are doing well, yeah, and those and just a few, yeah, a few percentage of men, around, let's say 10%, let's say 20% of men are doing well. There's the rest to nine, the rest 80% are struggling even to put food on the table, struggling for themselves, their identity, they're struggling to get opportunities, they're struggling to build their things from scratch. Men who are running businesses, some of them can't do anything else, can't even hold a relationship. They have to concentrate on the other side, because, and those are the few who have resources. So women end up missing out on being part of uh, the society, being part of building society, being part of. And building a society, building a family, building a community requires you to have a partner. So you can build people of your own blood. You can build a future together with your partner. So if these opportunities are not there for men, men will definitely run away from family and responsibilities, because if if you get there and there's nothing you can offer, then there's nothing you can do. So Kagata also says that this thing is dangerous. It's dangerous to have inequality in society, especially when it comes to gender. Yeah, you and the this the economic inequalities, they also injure women. The fact that men at this time are not productive enough, men of this time are not don't have those opportunities. It's also affecting women. You can see the quality of women we have, what they do, how they do their things, and also the quality. It also affects those uh, the small percent of men who are doing well. They end up getting surplus of women. That is what happens. It's as simple as that. When you're doing well, you can easily get a lot of women. So a, a man with resources can easily come take your girlfriend, can easily come, at worst, take even your wife. So when they take that, there's conflict between men. So if you take my wife, yeah, I'm a married man. So if you come take my wife, what does it mean? I'll have to start plotting violence against you, because you one of the things I can't. Okay, you never know, but your pride as a man, and that point you are losing your wife or your partner or somebody you have planned your life with to a rich man. So even between men, we'll have that constant struggle every time, because it's unequal. Now I want you to imagine where every man, or let's say 80%, we invert it and we say 80% of men have enough resources, not a lot, just enough to start a family, enough to sustain a woman, a partner, a woman, a female partner in their life, and to save, to build for the future. It will means it will mean that there'll be more men, more potential suitors, more potential and economically viable suitors who can convince a lady to stay with them, and they build a future together. They build a society and a community together. So that's where the problem comes. So if you have all this, we'll have so many married women, we'll have so many business coming up, we'll have families, we'll have stable families where there's a father and mother, and the kids are in a happy family. So that inequality only, we were we were, I don't want to use demonizing, but we neglected the man so much, and the impacts are now being seen today. There's the widespread single motherhood throughout the country because of that, uh, because of that inequality. So this article is true, and he's right that gender equality isn't about just uplifting girls. Yeah? It's about ensuring both girls and boys rise together. Yeah? And Kenya cannot afford to play. We are not. We are not. We are, all of us are poor. 90% of Kenyans are poor. 90% of Kenyans are poor. I can say that confidently. Even those who live in those who claim to be middle class or something, it's false. Most of them are poor. If one thing happens to you, we have to come and do fundraising. If anything happens to me, we have to start fundraising for something. It means we are depending so much. We are at high dependence economy. We depend on each other so much. So it means if we're still in that age where we're depending on each other, all of us have to have something we're contributing. All of us have to have that equal contribution and equal opportunities to develop. If we get those, then most of these conflicts will not be there, and will be one of the most happiest uh, societies. And it is good that I'm not saying that now we should draw back the efforts we made for to empower women. No, the efforts that we've made so far, they should remain the way they are. Now, our focus should be given should the equal should not shift, but equal effort and plan should be given to boys. you customize it to fit the needs of the society and the need to empower the boy child. So it's a really relevant article. It's something that calls all of us to introspect and think about the future of the country, the future of the men that we are going to bring around. We have very we have men who are very hopeless, less confident, very shy men, and that thing has never even happened. Shameless, shameful men who have shame. Men are not supposed to be ashamed of things. They're supposed to own up to things. Say when they're not to lie. We have so many lying men. We have when you why are you lying? When you lie, it's because you feel the truth does not matter. Yeah, so you have to do some of these vices. So that's where this article really pushes us to introspect as a community. So there are some things I think the article really gives suggestion, or Irungu Kangata gives these suggestions. Uh, One of them is to have this role modeling of men. At the goodness about men is they still have time. Like men at my age, 20, 29, 28, 28, 30 there, we still have a little bit of time, and this thing can be corrected for now because we know what we are doing. We're educated enough, we have all the equipment. It will take very little time for us to rectify the mistakes that we've done. We have all the resources. We have It's just very simple and targeted strategies that will ensure that the men catch up to women. So better role modeling will do really well, and he puts fathers at the center of this center of this progress. So, and I'm a father, and now in this role modeling is the Kangata says that if fathers abandon and mistreat their wives, children learn the wrong lessons. Boys need men of integrity to look up to. Yeah, it calls for men, even if you are down like this, we have to maintain our integrity as much as we can, so that our kids and the other generation that is coming can easily learn to put integrity ahead. How we treat our wives, how we treat children is really important as men. Also, the second point he puts is equal opportunities. There should be equal opportunities that cuts across gender. It's where men and women compete equally. Now we have that real gender equality because all of us are educated. All of us have gone through the same school system, starting from primary up to where we are now. We are equally, uh, um, capable. It's funny now. We have gotten to a point we have to prove ourselves. Like, please, we are also equal. Please come, give us this opportunity. We have gotten to that point where we are begging. And I was talking to my friend also the other day, and this is what he was saying, that it has gotten to a place where men are borrowing women money. Men are borrowing women money. So meaning it's the women who have the money. We don't. We don't have the money. We don't have the opportunities. Yeah, there should be fairness in the society, making sure that there's and the unequal societies in economies terms to injure women to push for the prosperous few men. Let us say. So if we bring these equal opportunities we give these equal opportunities to everyone, then there's a high chance we'll have and raise stable families. Also, boys need the third point that he puts across is how we can train men to have skills for the future. So Hagata says that training boys in a caring profession, like they have to go extra. Women are beating us because of where they serve. They are in hotel industries. They are in housekeeping. They're in teaching. They're in nursing, the servicing industry. They are there, and also these skills we have to be intentional on the skills that we are setting our boys to, the skills that we are acquiring. Yeah, we have to do something that comes in and pushes boys to be better, and intentionally getting them out of the bed. Most of men are wasting their times in bed and bars. So if we can easily get them out, and they want to get out, nobody wants to waste their life. Everybody wants a good life. So you see, when you say men are lazy, they cannot do this, it's the constant pressure and push that they end up giving up and leaving the entire thing. And when they are pushing, nothing comes out. Yeah. So they end up where we are now, where we and how we are doing now. And also, in the last point he puts across is the mentorship part. It's men, as men, I'd say at some point we need to come and we need to come call ourselves into a meeting and accept for mentorship. I know men rarely ask for help. They want to be on top of things throughout, but they even sometimes when things are difficult, they want to take, even when there's no way, they want to find a way inside a wall. For now, there's no way. We have no way. Yeah, there are very few lucky people who something happened for them, but the most men, there is no way. We have to agree that there's no way, and now we come together and find our way out. Yeah. So something like what women have, like chamas, they chamas, businesses, business groups, attending churches, football clubs, men clubs. I see this in men, but those moneyed men, you see them going to road trips with very big cars. Yeah, that thing can be implemented to men at the bottom, men who have nothing. There are good things we can do. There are way we can come together and socialize together and do those mentorship programs together. But there has to be an initiative to handle that. Yeah, to handle that, and the solutions have to be practical. They have to be very clear that we are going to save the boy child. Let it be known clearly, the way Rigiji's wife was saying. You save let's have a clear that this is what we are doing, and this is how we are going to do it, and the end result, this is what we want, and put men to work, put men to task to go out and build something, bring balance, bring stability and fairness in the society. I'm reflecting this as a Gen Z. I'm reflecting and looking at this article as a Gen Z. We are moving really fast. Gen Zs are now fathers, me being an example. Gen Z are now husbands, me being an example. Gen Z are now raising boys. I'm raising 2 boys. Yeah. So it's really important to have these conversations. It's really important to have men getting involved and intentionally uh, challenging these issues of gender inequality. It's funny now we are fighting for men. It's funny now we are fighting for men. We never thought this day would come, but if you look back at all those steps that are being made, every time we are asking really, what's there for men? But if everybody believes that the system is for men, so they're like, the system is there for you, but we have gotten here, and you found that's not the case. That is not the case at all. Things are way different than we thought. So we cannot lose either gender. We have put women up here. Now it's time now to bring this equality. We don't bring women down now. No. As they are up here, we uplift men to be at an equal playground, and all of us will be very happy. Will be issues that are destabilizing families, issues of infidelity, issues of crime, issues of drug abuse will disappear miraculously. We'll be finding men in all these spaces. So it is really nice to have a leader like Irungu Kangata discuss these things and put it on the standard for us to see, so that we know there are leaders who actually think about this kind of things. And Kangata is among one of the best. I can say without fear or favor that Kangata is among the best governors we have in the country. Of course, with these flaws, but it's good to see it there. And it's good as a man. He can see. I believe he understands what we are going through. It's powerful that this article, yeah, it comes in at this very critical time where we are going into elections, where we are talking about issues, we're talking about values, we're talking about our society. It's good for even the president that is coming in, or the people who want this political post, to tell us how are they going to tackle this thing, because we cannot have uh, a dying gender, we cannot have a hopeless gender, and we cannot only empower one group. I think I don't know about your suggestions. I don't know about you, how you feel about that, but it would be nice for me to know how you feel. In our comment section, you can also put your views there. You can also reach out on my personal number that is on the screen throughout. You can find it and reach me out. Give me your suggestions. What do you want? Also, at the same time, reach out, and also we'll be discussing these issues more in the coming videos. So I want to leave it at that. It's been nice to discuss this article. I think you find time, go to his to Irungu Kangata's Twitter, find the article, read for yourself, and also give me your views. What do you think about it? It's been nice. My name is Hopkins, and this is the Hopkins Experience. Thank you.